Hey guys, Utah Steve here with Utah Outdoor Adventures. Hope everybody's doing all right. It is a semi-beautiful spring day right now. It has been raining non-stop here in Utah all week long, all day, all night, at least where I live in the Ogden area. So not a lot that I could do as far as getting outside goes, but that is happening next week for sure. So today, in my my weekly roundup of things as they are, I want to talk about something new. I want to talk about backpacking food, various things that you can take with you backpacking. Now, I filmed this segment that's coming up here previously, and I forgot to mention a couple of things in this next segment you're going to see, showing all the different kinds of food options you have with when backpacking, as far as weight and calorie content and that kind of thing goes. I can't believe I left these out. Cliff bars are an amazing source of calories and nutrition when you're out there. I actually eat these on a regular basis at home too. Some people like these, some don't. I don't mind them at all. This one is white chocolate macadamia nut. There's various varieties. There's like chocolate brownie, there's peanut butter crunch, all kinds of different ones. There's a new one out. It's nuts and seeds or something like that. I'll have to flash it on the screen here, but it's really good. I really liked it. It's sort of honey based. I don't know. It tastes really good. So this is another option you have available if you're not a big trail mix person. This is a good alternative to that because it's kind of a trail mix all compressed into one. And also, I usually keep a bag full of condiments from various restaurants. I've got Taco Bell in here, Del Taco, Chick-fil-A. I've got ketchup, taco sauce, you name it. I even have some vegetable packets in here. Dried vegetables from soups that my kids don't like, the dried vegetables, but I thought, well, I could throw this in a pot of ramen with some of the protein that you're going to see in this next segment, some meat, and have a nice soup for dinner. So there's some other options that I forgot to mention in this upcoming segment. So let's go ahead and move on to that. Here's my take on some great ideas and inexpensive ideas mostly for backpacking food. Okay, so guys, you're gonna have to excuse me. I have to use my bed for display purposes. It's the biggest surface I can find right now next to my kitchen table, and my kids are kind of being noisy, so I'm gonna film this real quick and just hope everything just turns out okay. Hopefully you can see it okay. The lighting in here isn't that great, and I apologize. Anyway, we're talking backpacking food. Sure, you can use it for camping food too, but the idea is to go lightweight, high calorie, because you use so much energy when you're hiking. I guess you could use it just as hiking food too if it's a long day hike. But the biggest thing is the weight and the calories that you'll consume. So I've gone to the store and I've purchased a bunch of things that I would consider taking with me. I've kind of beat the Mountain House dinner horse silly, and I think it's time to lay off of that. You can always go to the store and buy Mountain House meals, and they're great, but they're $8 a pop half the time. So there's a much cheaper alternative as well. So let's go over this, and I'll undo the camera from the tripod, and we'll talk about the specifics of what I do when I'm going backpacking. Okay, as you can see, we've got quite the variety here. Let's start with breakfast. Some breakfast options that are available that are lightweight and filling. Of course, oatmeal, instant oatmeal, very easy. Just add some hot water, boil some water, dump it in, and there's your breakfast. Even easier, Pop-Tarts eaten cold. I'm not crazy about Pop-Tarts, but I will take them backpacking for calorie sake and have something to fill my stomach. And also you have these breakfast biscuits. This one's Nature Valley, this one's Belvita or Belvita, I don't know how you say that, but I've tried both of these. They're very good, very nutritious, and they hold you over quite a while. So there's some breakfast options available if you don't want to have to wake up in the morning and cook everything. Of course, you can always bring a Mountain House meal and cook up a nice filling meal that way, but the goal here is to save money. These come in cases.
like anything else, and so you're buying a whole box, but you're only taking so many with you, measuring out what portions you think you'll need ahead of time, so you won't be carrying too much with you. Snack wise, we have beef jerky, great source of protein. Highly recommend always taking beef jerky with. If you're vegetarian, you'll have to look at other options, obviously, but protein and calories are very important when you're hiking. So this is a good source of protein as a snack. Other snack ideas include Snickers bars. I like these really big ones they've come out with. 2 of them is the same as one of these as far as calories and fat go. However, you're burning so many calories that this right here has been a lifesaver for me. Hang on, my cat wants in. Come on. Sorry about that. Mongo demands the door be open. Okay, so there's that, and also, of course, trail mix. I recommend trail mix with chocolate in it, or some kind of sweet, high-calorie something in it. This has Nestle Crunch bits in it, mixed in with peanuts and raisins and that kind of thing. I guess Mongo's going to join me for this video, so I hope you don't mind. I can't really stop him. He gets his own way. He's a cat. Anyway, so if you get the nuts and berries kind of trail mix where it has, you know, raisins and almonds and that kind of thing, it's still healthy, but it's not going to give you the energy boost you need when you're hiking. So I prefer that it has something sweet and high calorie in it. This isn't going to destroy your diet if you're just going on a backpacking trip, you know, for the night or for a couple of days or even 3 or 4 days. So another great snack item or lunch item are these to-go cups, peanut butter by Jif. That's the only brand I've seen of these, but they're very lightweight, very handy. A serving in a cup, and you're good to go. You're on your way. Another lunch item or even a dinner item are these really lightweight noodle bowls. You can take something like this summer sausage and cut it up and put it into that. These do come smaller. I couldn't find a small one. You can buy a little one that's only, you know, 4 or 5 inches and cut it up into a meal, and then you're not carrying this big bulky thing around with you. Other items, breakfast. I skipped this over the breakfast item. Also a snack are these cereal bars full of nutrition, very healthy for you and gives you lots of energy. And as far as drinks go, we have, of course, cocoa as an option. If you're into coffee, you can bring those little single coffee packets. The cocoa comes in really handy. It's warming, it's comforting. You have these drink packets that you can dump in your water bottle. There are 10 packets in this box, in each box. This one has caffeine, this one does not, just depending on what you need on the trail. Some other meal options, you can get these Spam singles, which are a lot more convenient and lightweight than, say, the can. This isn't Spam brand, but this was cheaper, so I got it. So here's another option for protein. You can cut into a meal or just eat it, I guess, if you're into that. Anyway, ramen, a very easy, lightweight, easy to make meal. These are fantastic. I really like these Knorr brand products. They're only $1 a piece. All of this is fairly inexpensive. This is noodles. This is rice. In a previous backpacking trip, one of my videos where we hiked into Ruth and Naomi Lake, I took this with and put some Spam in it, and it was really good, and it kept me full all night. Which is important because eating before you go to sleep for the night when you're camping is also a way of keeping warm. So it's best to eat right before bedtime and call it a night, and you'll stay warmer at night. Here's a couple other options. You have these little pop top, small, heavier. You're sacrificing some weight here, but baked beans, good source of energy, protein, all that. And also corned beef hash. I found this little can of it at Walmart. I didn't know they made a little can of it. This is kind of a tradition for me. If you watch my other videos, sometimes I make this when I'm camping. Let's see what else. The tortillas. You can use those. You can cook up this rice, throw some protein source into it, like the Spam or the sausage, and when it's all cooked up, roll it up into a wrap, and you've got more calories and it's more filling. Of course, all of this food, much of it you would measure out just what you need to take with you. Like the trail mix, you wouldn't necessarily take that huge bag. Or, let's see what else. Or like this soup, this Bear Creek minestrone soup. This only requires water. All of this only requires water, except for a couple of things. For example, the rice and noodles both require an oil or a butter. What you can do is bring along some nice olive oil in a sample bottle that you can buy at any pharmacy, the little sample size bottles, the empty ones, or something you have kicking around that you can empty out and put oil into. This is higher calorie than most other foods, and so it will add a boost to your calorie intake, adding it to this. Instead of taking the whole bottle, it's a lot easier to take a sample size. So let's see, over here we have mac and cheese, just requires water. Rice-a-roni bowl, same thing. Creamy 4 cheese, only requires water. So you get the idea. There are so many options out there. You don't have to break the bank. Everything you see here cost me 40 bucks at the store. So, you know, it didn't break the bank, and it depends on your budget, of course, too. But, you know, this is several trips worth of food. This isn't one trip. I would break it down into, you know, Ziploc bags and just plan out ahead of time exactly what I would need for what meals and how many days I would be gone and that kind of thing. One more thing I want to touch on. My oldest son, Ashlyn, found this at the Army-Navy surplus store near his house in Taylorsville, Utah. I don't have one up here, but he left this behind. And this isn't a military MRE that has obviously been repackaged. Comes with everything you need, everything that a normal MRE would come with. These are leftovers, things that are surplus that the military doesn't know what to do with. The surplus place buys it at cost probably and repackages it so that it has everything you need in here, but this will run you about $5, whereas an actual MRE costs as much as 12 bucks, 15 bucks per MRE. Unless you're in the military, then, you know, the rest of us taxpayers are happy to pay that bill. So there you have it. I think I've covered everything. Let me just double check here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, one more thing. These are really handy on the trail. This is a tuna salad. There's also chicken, and I've even seen salmon. It comes with crackers and a little can with a little spoon, so you can have a little snack. I wouldn't call this lunch. It's not really high in calories. 250 calories, one can. So it's a snack or something to complement your lunch with. Combine a couple things, whatever you want to do. So there you have it. There's my little discussion on backpacking food. I hope it helps. This is not the rule. This is just what I prefer to do. So feel free to add to this list or make suggestions that you think will enhance this video. I would love to hear them. I'm always open to new ideas. Oh, no, I missed one more thing. These are fantastic. Only requires water. Everything you need is already in it. And this only requires water. So you can make mashed potatoes and gravy on the trail. Very lightweight. And if you need some protein in there, just like I said, summer sausage, Spam, something like that, throw it in there. Or even your, I don't know, that would be kind of gross actually if you threw in tuna. I'd probably throw up, but so don't do that. But that's another option, another easy meal option that will fill you up and keep you comfortable. So the idea is not to suffer on the trail and also not to carry so much food that your back is killing you. So there you have it. That is my little backpacking food preview.
All right, now moving right along, we're going to go into our gear review for the week. Not to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to talk about the Eureka Solitaire Bivy tent again. Now, you've probably seen the review I have posted here on my channel. If you've watched my Antelope Island camp out with my son Dylan, you've seen me review it there. But this last camp out in Utah's West Desert, which I just posted part 1 this week, it's the first week of May 2015, if you're wondering. I found some problems with that tent. None of it was leaking or anything like that. The problems were being able to sit up when it's raining nonstop and entertain myself somehow, or when I can't sleep and that kind of thing. I won't beat the dead horse that I've already talked about in this next segment. Maybe you've seen this segment in my in part 1 of the West Desert camp out video. Maybe you haven't. But here it is for what it's worth. Some more thoughts on the Eureka Solitaire Bivy tent.
You're probably familiar with my Eureka Solitaire if you've seen my other videos with my gear reviews and also my Antelope Island camping trip I took with my 6-year-old son Dylan. We both slept in that part of the night anyway until some drunk people showed up.
Well guys, it's 10 p.m. I'm inside my tent. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's raining steady. It's a mud fest out there. We're all in our tents. We had a nice fire, hung out for a while, and it's nice and warm and dry in here. I'm grateful for that. So I'm going to read for a little while and wait till the melatonin kicks in. We'll see in the morning. Have a good one.
Well guys, it's just maybe 11:30 p.m. I have been tossing and turning for like 2 hours. I just haven't been able to fall asleep. I've been comfortable, I've been warm. Sorry about the creepy appearance. It's how it looks with my headlamp on my face, but yeah, I would just get to the point of just dozing off, and then I would wake up, and there's coyotes out here. They howl. They're far away. It's not scary or anything, but it wakes you up. I think Ashlyn is out, but Murphy was awake as well, having the same problem. So the biggest problem I'm facing is the Eureka Solitaire tent. Positive review on it. I love that thing. It rained and rained and rained forever, and not a leak, no condensation, just completely comfortable in there, except I can't sit up. So I'm sitting up, obviously, because I'm inside the expedition. I can't sleep, and when I can't sleep, I need to sit up and do something, read or something, and I can't do that in that tent. I just lay there, and it's misery. So one of the drawbacks to the Eureka Solitaire, a little update of my opinion of it, it's a good tent. It's really lightweight and convenient, but if you're the type of person like me that just needs to be able to sit up and function a little bit better than just sleeping in a tent, then probably not the way to go. So it's a great tent. Like I said, it just poured forever. Now the moon is out, the stars are out, the coyotes are howling. It's beautiful outside. It's absolutely amazing. And I just can't sleep. I'm wide awake. So I need to be sitting up. I'm probably going to just sit here in the car for a while and look at my phone, read something. I have some books on my phone, so I don't know. I've got my water bottle down by my feet. The sleeping bag is in here with me in case I fall asleep. Most important thing is to be able to get some sleep, not to just stick it out in the tent to see how it does. This is only my second time using the Solitaire, but the first time I've used it in bad weather. So if you want to call it bad weather, I think it's been fun. We've all had a great time, but I'm telling you, I just can't continue camping in a tent that I can't set up in. It's just misery for me. So might not bother someone else at all. So I'm not really, it's not the tent's fault. It's just the kind of person I am. I need to be able to wake up and sit up if I can't sleep, and it's not happening. So I'm gonna sit in here and do my thing. Murphy's kind of going through the same thing. He'll probably eventually fall asleep easier than I do. I have sleep problems anyway. I took a melatonin. Usually that knocks me out cold, but I just have not been able to get there mentally. I'm just thinking. So maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, but once I'm awake, my mind starts racing and it's time to sit up and do something, whether it's get a snack and then go back to bed or whatever. That's my routine at home. But camping, when you can't even sit up in your tent, the only alternative I have is a car, and I'm just glad I'm not out in the middle of the woods backpacking, because it would really bother me that I can't sit up. Yeah, this thing held up pretty well in the rain. Look at all this pooling of water on my tarp. Really muddy, wet pools, especially over here. And I had no idea when it was raining last night that was happening, because that was nice and dry in there. So kudos to this tent for that. Just need something I can sit up in. Okay, and like I said, I really do like that tent. It just doesn't work for me. And so I don't know, maybe if my YouTube channel ever reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'll give it away or something. Who knows. Speaking of that, my Facebook page is up to 900 likes now, and I really appreciate that, guys. That's way more than I even imagined, and I only started this a few months ago, the Facebook page. So welcome aboard, everybody. Let's shoot for 1,000, and maybe we can get that many subscriptions on YouTube as well. So let's move along to thrift store. As many of you may know, I usually hit a thrift store once a week, find outdoors equipment that's inexpensive, and I'm able to add it to my collection of thrift store camping equipment so that I can do this thrift store camp out I want to do. Guys, I hate to say it, but I completely struck out this week. I went to 2 different thrift stores around town, and all I found, there was nothing at one of them, just nothing outdoorsy at all that I could even comprehend using other than some camp chairs, and I've already done that. Then I went to another one that was quite a distance from my home just to try and find something, and all I found were some used external frame backpacks, which is okay, but the material on it was torn. And there were holes in it, and they were all beat up. And I thought, who would buy this, even if it is $10, or $6, whatever it was. So I hate to say it, but I really struck out. I tried, and I didn't find anything this week. So I'm disappointed, probably just like you are. So, getting a text. Sorry about that. So we'll shoot for next week. I haven't given up on that idea. I really like that idea. I still want to pursue it. So I'll see what I can come up with in the meantime. The best day to hit a thrift store is on Monday, because a lot of people make their donations on the weekend, and it gets put out on the shelves on Monday, and by Wednesday it's all cleaned out. And maybe that's what happened to me, is I waited too long. So that's the only thing I have to say about the thrift store this week. I apologize. But moving along to a gear preview, things to come. I sort of previewed this. I can't talk. I sort of previewed this next item on the desert camp out, during the desert camp out in the West Desert. This is the Gerber Bear Grylls Ferro Rod fire starter. This is a pretty neat little unit. There's some hidden gems in this that I really like, and I'm going to take the time right now to show it to you, show you how it works. It was too dark, unfortunately, the video I got of me using this on the recent camp out, so I wasn't able to use the video really.
So I'm going to show you in broad daylight how it works, and then next week when I go on an overnighter, I'll take it with, and this will get more of a spotlight, I promise. So here's our gear preview of the week, the Bear Grylls Gerber Fire Starter. Let's take a closer look at this.
Okay guys, as you can see, it's a compact unit. It weighs 2.9 ounces, which isn't too heavy. Some people think it's a little bulky because of the length. I'd say it's about 5 inches long or so. Comes with this handy piece of paracord, this adjustable piece here, so you can hold on to it with your wrist. It's not big enough to go around your neck. Some people modify this, put a longer piece of paracord in. I don't really care because honestly, I would probably hang this from a tree while I'm at camp, or just keep it in a pocket in my backpack until I need it. This little piece, the little clip on the end, is actually more than it seems. It's a whistle, an emergency whistle. Here, I'll blow it for you. Yeah, nothing too exciting. But hey, blow that thing hard and it's going to put out a nice, loud, high pitch. So it has that feature that you may not even notice. It looks like just a neat little clip on the end of this, but it's not. So basically you take this, the two halves come apart, you just pull, and there you have it. You have your striker and your rod here. This rubber ring will keep it waterproof, supposedly. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in a bowl of water and let it sit for a few minutes, and then we'll give it a test. But before I do, I want to show you one other cool feature here. Let me pop that back together. If you pull on this one end here, you have a cap that comes with a little cotton ball tucked inside, and I've added my own that's covered in Vaseline petroleum jelly to help light fires with. So these make great fire starters, by the way. Cotton burns really well. Probably another reason not to wear cotton when you're camping. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and try this in a little bit, but first we're going to seal this up, and we're going to throw this in some water, see if the cotton stays dry, see how the rod itself performs after it's been dropped in water. Okay, so I've got my bowl of water here, and we're going to go ahead and drop the Gerber Ferro rod in there. Let's make sure it's nice and tight like it should be. Okay, here we go. Completely submerged. I'm going to leave it there for maybe 15 minutes, and we'll come back and take it out and give it a test run. Okay guys, it's been about 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take this out of the water. Let me set my bowl aside after I shake it off. The chances of you getting this wet are pretty good if you're, you know, you drop it in a river or something like that, or it gets rained on or whatever. So let's go ahead and take our cotton out. I'm going to use the one that okay, I don't know if you can tell, it's still perfectly dry. I'm going to use this cotton that I put the petroleum jelly on because it makes a great fire starter. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not lighting this outside. It has looked like this for several days out there. Everything's wet out there. I have plenty of trees in my yard that I could use as kindling, but I just honestly, everything's drenched. It's just soaked. So we're going to go ahead and just do it this way. We'll pull this apart. Now, when you use this, you're supposed to hold this at a 45-degree angle and pull back with the rod, not strike forward with this. When you're lighting a fire anyway, if you do this, you're going to knock all your kindling and tinder all over the place. So let's make sure we do it the correct way and see how this does. There we go. Took 4 or 5 strikes. I'm not too worried about this tray, so. Yep, took just fine. Go ahead and blow that out. That was a cool sound. Okay, so there you have it, the Bear Grylls Gerber fire starter. Nice solid lighting rod, a good striker. This is going to last me a long time. neat little compartment to hold your cotton in, or any other thing you can think of to put in there. It's not very deep. It's not a, that's it right there, you know, 3/4 of an inch maybe. So, but still handy nonetheless. Some people might not like the weight, 2.9 ounces. I think it's great compared to my Coleman fire starter, which does the job. That's already worn down and I've only used it a handful of times. This is supposed to last, I'm not sure how many strikes this is good for. I'll flash it here on the screen so you have a better idea. But that's the Bear Grylls Gerber fire starter preview.
So that's it for this week, folks. I'm Utah Steve. This is Utah Outdoor Adventures. I hope you're enjoying the channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you have input that's positive and constructive, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear it. Or any ideas or suggestions you might have. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this week's update. Sorry about the thrift store thing, but we'll make up for it next week. I promise. I hope. It's kind of out of my control, but I promise I'll come up with something. So thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you next week.